You're listening to Honey, We Made a Disney Podcast. Two friends since first grade, now dads reliving the Disney movies we grew up on with our own kids. I'm JB Wagner.
And I'm Eddie Ferguson. And on today's episode, we fight off cabin fever to review Muppet Treasure Island. But first, JB, how are you and the family?
Good. We were very excited when Raya came out on Disney Plus. I had seen it in theaters, but my wife hadn't. So we were super excited for that. My daughter, she's been very into Frozen 2 specifically. So anytime she looks at the TV and says Elsa, like we know exactly what she's talking about. She wanted to watch Frozen 2. So we're like, we'll introduce her to Raya, see maybe if that caught on. And boy, Eddie, did that catch on. She is 100% all the time, like just like da 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 da, Raya, pointing at the TV, like wanting us to turn it on. It's been so much so that now my son, man, buddy, he's had it up to here with all the Elsa and all of the Raya talk. He's like, no Raya. We're done. No, sissy, no Raya. And he's trying to watch anything he possibly can else. Because he's gotten to the point now where he kind of bops around to different things, but no.
Right.
Sissy is Elsa and Raya. And we have to like start, we're now officially into taking turns mode. So that's kind of what our house is right now. It's just rotating whatever Buddy wants to watch. And then some Raya, whatever Buddy wants to watch, and then Elsa, and back and forth. So we've been trying to find a Sisu, a plush Sisu. They're really hard to come by. All of the ones like at Target and stuff are like the hard plastic,
hard ones. Yeah,
ones. Maybe they have some like hair you can braid or whatever, but overall, they don't have very many options. So
no, this is Lewis's thing right now. He wants to ride Sisu. He goes. I ride Sisu. How I ride Sisu?
I wouldn't even know where to begin, other than getting boxes and painting them green.
I don't know. I'll just throw a blanket over me that's kind of like white and woolly, and be like, "I'm Sisu."
That's probably your best bet.
Yeah. Those aren't bad movies to be on repeat, though.
There's way worse that we could do. And we've covered some of the way worse ones here on this podcast.
Yes. Frozen 2 is on repeat a lot in our house, which I'm okay with. I've really grown to love Frozen 2, the music especially. And in part because I think the documentary about the making of Frozen 2
that's
is maybe my like second favorite thing to come out on Disney Plus.
It was incredible. It's incredible.
I really liked that documentary. And I liked the movie beforehand, but then after watching the process and everything, I'm like, okay, I'm in love with it even more. So
I concur as well. I pushed that on all of my coworkers. They all had to see it, and I think most of them did, other than the ones that were like, because you're pushing this on me, I'm not going to watch it. But we ended up watching at least one episode in a post-team meeting or something like that, where we actually watched one of the episodes and like broke it down afterwards to be like, okay, what do we guys think about this? What can we take from it for our process and stuff? Because it's really good. It's really good stuff. Yeah. So, but with that, Eddie, we have finally killed off 1995. We've finally beat it. It took a week, even longer than we thought it was going to take. Granted, we drug it out by having some recaps of other things, some special episodes, but we finally beat out 1995. We're entering 1996. And how old were we when this came? Were we 9? We haven't quite hit 10 yet, right?
Sure.
Right.
No, we wouldn't have been 10.
Right. We're about 9 years old at this point.
Yeah, we're 9 years old. We both would have turned 9 in 96.
So we are what? 4th grade, 5th grade at this point?
3rd grade.
Third grade.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that. Miss Sears class.
Because 7 would have been first grade, 8 would have been second grade, 9.
Getting my glasses. I remember now. So 1996, I deep dove into time traveled a little bit to go back into 1996.
I deep dove.
I deep dove. But Eddie, do you want to start us off with some things that were happening politically in 1996?
Politically, you have Bill Clinton wins a second term, and this is definitely when he goes into his more tumultuous term. You have the first elections held in Taiwan as they first made their attempt to break away from mainland China. And then you also have Princess Diana divorces Prince Charles.
I'm sure we will get to her follow-up thing in a couple of years.
If you've watched The Crown, you know, divorce in the royal family back then was a big no-no.
So in sports, so the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. We got the Yankees rolling off a championship that year. The Bulls, they are beginning their last three-peat with MJ back. MLS, the Major League Soccer starts this year.
Yeah.
1996. I forgot how short their time has been.
25 years?
25 years. That is not long at all. And I always forget that. And so every time someone complains about how American soccer is way worse than European soccer, this is the reason.
Well, I mean, there was leagues before MLS.
But then there was a very large gap of time with nothing.
Yeah. You had the NASL for the longest time, but it never rose to the prominence that MLS started at.
Yep.
I mean, MLS started to be,
and then this was the last U.S. Summer Olympics. It was held in Atlanta. So
Atlanta. Every time I drive through Atlanta, I pass the Torch because it's right there on the highway.
It's right next to the Varsity, which has some really good, really bad, really good food. So that's
really
it for
bad,
that.
really good.
Really, really. I mean, it's bad. It's good, bad food.
Like it tastes good, but it's bad for you.
Yeah, all the things.
Okay.
Yeah, greasy wings, fries, shakes, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. The number one song in 1996. Can't be true. Was the Macarena?
The Macarena.
I would love to know your source on that. No, I'm teasing. Tragedy struck cable news with the start of the Fox News channel. And
Eddie, I didn't realize this was going to be up in the political section.
I love how you give me politics and pop culture and you take sports.
Well, because I know that you care nothing about the sports thing. So that's why I take that one.
MLS.
Billboard year-end Hot 100 singles of 1996. I'm re-Googling it. Re-Googling
Macarena.
It. Second one was One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boys to Men. So.
Okay. I didn't know this. This is quite exciting because I love this movie. The number one movie of 1996 was Independence Day.
I'm about to cue that thing up in a couple weeks.
Bill Paxton's speech at the end when he's on the radio, on the side, and, this will be our Independence Day. I mean, I watched this.
Shivers.
When did the sequel come out? I can't remember. This was several summers ago.
Yeah.
That was the last time that I watched that movie, and I still get like a little choked up and chills at that moment of just like, yeah, our Independence Day.
Yeah, we were definitely going to be watching that in not too long.
And the guy always flies up in the Alien, and he's like, "Up York." I remember seeing that as a kid and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's it." Well, that was, that's when like Roland Emmerich like really came onto the scene.
Your hero. Your hero.
You can't put an end of the world movie on this list. And I can see your face like, why are we talking about this so much?
No. I'm expecting this. I was expecting. That's why
you knew you can't put like the granddaddy of End of the World movies on there and me not ramble because I love a good End of the World movie.
Yep.
Had you ever seen Geostorm, by the way?
No.
I watched that on a plane ride like back in January.
That's when
I don't know why I'm
it.
thinking about this. Yes. I watched Geostorm. It's got Gerald Butler in it and
nope.
A couple
Hard
other
pass.
people. It was really good. It was like a good End of the World movie.
Was it bad
really
good? Like the Varsity's bad good food? Good bad food?
Sure. Like I can only think of a few End of the World movies that are also like good movies, like a great film. I
am 90% confident I did not see Geostorm. Yeah, I don't remember any of this stuff of them like changing the weather.
It is just so over the top. It's wonderful. Like they have these hundreds of thousands of satellites that surround the world. And
Just to keep it,
and they can stop storms and stuff like that. So Independence Day was the number one movie. You just say DVDs here. Is this
it came out.
Beginning? This is when they come out?
Beginning of DVDs right here.
So we've got a pretty big move coming up. And so I was going through DVDs and like consolidating, putting them into a binder or getting rid of them just this weekend. I was like going through and I can't let go of DVDs because there's some of them where I'm going, this isn't on any of the streaming services I subscribe to. And I want to be able to watch You've Got Mail. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
Don't make me jump through hoops. I don't want to sign up for HBO Max for this. I just want to watch it when I want to watch it.
We always go back to the DVDs, especially when the power goes out, but like the internet goes out.
Yeah.
It's our first call every time is just pull out the giant binder, pull up something that we haven't watched in forever and we forgot that we loved and we owned in our house. So
well, and so many of my DVDs are from that guilty pleasure movie era of late high school, college, and just after. Right?
Basically, all of my collection is 2004 to 2010.
10. Yep.
That's all of my movies are in that section.
Me too, and because that's also when. Like Blockbuster's going out of business and it's like 5 DVDs for $1. You know, I'm like, ah! So
it is funny that we are talking about this because this podcast is 1988 to 2005 and all of our DVD collection is those 5, 6, 7 years right after this. We will finish this podcast stuff. So.
Maybe what we should do after we finish going through 2005 is we'll do like random movies from our DVD collection
from college
that have to be during the college.
You know what we're gonna have to start with, right?
A watch party through the 3 extended cuts of Lord of the Rings.
So there's 3 things I'm thinking just off the top of my head. That's one. Followed up.
We used to do, just so for those of you listening, you would realize every Christmas break in college, we would take one day of break and just watch all 3 extended cuts.
As far as we could go.
We did pretty good. My favorite was the year that we took over a room in the church.
To watch it. How did back in the day?
Because I think the church had just gotten a new like flat screen TV or whatever.
Yeah, big screen TV, and it's like 720p, and we loved it. and we had Blu-ray, so it was awesome. We'll also have to do a Harry Potter one in there too, but we're gonna have to really the big one I'm excited about revisiting is from one of our favorite directors is also End of the World. Also includes Monster.
The Happening?
No.
Oh, I was going to say.
No.
Which one are you talking about?
Eddie Cloverfield.
Oh, Michael Reeves is one of our favorite
No,
directors?
sorry. I was thinking, it's executive produced by J.J. Abrams.
Oh,
so,
J.J.
sorry.
Abrams. There we go.
Yeah, Cloverfield.
Yeah.
That's going to have to be one of the first ones that we do because that was mind-blowing to watch in college. And we thought every movie's going to be found footage after that, and they weren't. But you know what?
Well, there was a few, and they just never worked.
Yeah, they never did.
It's funny that you bring up J.J. Abrams. We just signed up for Hulu because Lost is on there, and Sarah's never watched Lost. And so we decided this summer we're going to begin working through Lost.
You can text with Wix, our buddy Wix.
Is he going through
He
it?
is currently he has not rewatched Lost since he saw it the first time as it came out. So
I think I have his number.
We'll make sure, and then you guys can text and say all the things. But before we go too much farther, let me just hit the other random things that happened or released or whatever in 1996 while we're staying there. One big deal, Nintendo 64. I remember this thoroughly.
This is a big deal.
This is a huge deal.
And you want to know something crazy? That was the last game system I ever owned.
All those times playing GoldenEye together.
GoldenEye
during the summers and stuff like that, and the Rumble controllers.
Yes, do you remember the Rumble controller?
You had to buy a special Rumble pack.
It click into the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's when I realized like I can't be a gamer. Like if my obsessive personality, it's like on or off. I have no middle ground on this thing.
Another
game
related thing was Pokemon that came out on Nintendo Game Boy.
Did you ever get into Pokemon?
Oh yeah, I forget which version we had. If it was yellow, maybe I forget which one it was, but we had the Pikachu one that played a lot of Pokemon for a long time because you could only have like one profile at a time. So like you had to save your progress as you went, and then people would try to get on and like erase it and stuff. It was contentious. So let's move on. Something to keep us in the spirit of that. We also had mad cow disease hitting Great Britain. That was a big deal at the time.
What would you rather have? Be the top scientist in your field or have mad cow disease? I know which one I would choose. As soon as I read that, that's all I could think of.
Staying with the farm animals, Dolly the sheep was successfully cloned. Dolly the sheep.
Do you remember when that happened? I remember everybody freaking out, like, this is the end. Like, now they're going to be cloning people, and like, there's no science is unchecked. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
We've done okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. eBay, also another big upstart. Just a couple years before Y2K, just getting in there on the boom bust a little bit.
The .com,
and then the craze that took a lot of people's dignity as they were fighting each other for them, which was Tickle Me Elmo.
This was crazy.
I don't even know if there was an equivalent to, like, it set a standard for things you had to have and people were willing to fight each other at the mall for.
Yeah, because you even still hear it brought up today of like, is this the next Tickle Me Elmo? Elmo. What is the big thing that they're going after? And it's appropriate because right now you've got the big summer sales going on. I don't know if you heard
the Prime Day sales. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or Target deal days.
Target deal days for those of you that don't want to
hate Amazon.
Hate Amazon. There really hasn't been anything. I know my wife got an air purifier for like $100 off or something like that. So she's on cloud nine with that. But for me, I haven't found anything that I'm like super stoked about. There was one thing we wanted to get, but it wasn't quite enough money off. So we'll see.
Target and Best Buy have AirPod Pros for $180.
Yeah, but I like the form factor of the normal AirPods, and I actually hate the thing where it's like got the little silicone stuff that like silicone stuff that like sticks into your ears.
I love it.
I hate that. They don't stay in my ears.
See,
they don't stay in my ears.
But they give you different tips.
I know, and they never work.
You can customize it.
They never work for me. I've tried
any of the AirPod Pros.
I've tried almost every different type of those silicone ones, and they never stay. That's why I like the AirPods, including the AirPod Pro. Why would they be any different than the rest of them?
Because it's Apple. Everything's better with Apple.
I don't know about that.
I love the Pros. I'm a big fan of like the noise canceling.
The thing is, they won't let me try them on. They won't let me try them on at the store. So how will I ever know? I'd have to like borrow somebody else's, and that's just weird.
I could have let you borrow mine. We could have done
this when we were together a couple weeks ago.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. But anyways, we are not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about a movie that my wife was very excited. A lot of these films have been like, hey, you want to watch this together? And she's
Mine too.
I'm good. No, yeah, my wife was very much like 100% we were watching that. Let's just sit down and watch that. And it's been a while since we've had something to watch like that. So
yeah,
today, the movie we're going to be talking about together is Muppet Treasure Island.
Cue the Disney-ish sound effect.
Okay, IMDb description for Muppet Treasure Island.
This may be the best description ever.
Might be the best. It might be the longest one we've ever had. So buckle up. Okay.
Certainly the longest.
Let me get a drink of water real quick for this. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay. IMDb description for Muppet Treasure Island is the Muppets twist on the classic tale. End scene. That's it. That's literally it. They had no other description for this movie.
There is a huge assumption, right, that we just know the tale of Treasure Island.
That is an assumption.
And I was trying to figure this out. Like, is this... So the previous one that they did prior to this was A Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think A Christmas Carol is prolific, right?
Yep.
Like,
should be well known.
It's just... Yeah, if you are in Western civilization, like, you have an understanding of A Christmas Carol.
Yep.
Is Treasure Island that popular? Is it that common? Like, it was one of my favorite books as a kid. I remember reading it and loving it.
I don't know how you get through any sort of schooling without at least having some knowledge of Treasure Island, because it's like right. The thing that any kid would be interested in.
I don't know. My in looking and researching this, so they were actually debating between, after they did A Christmas Carol, they knew they wanted to do another kind of classic tale through the Muppets, and it was between this and King Arthur.
Ooh.
And this definitely, a Muppets version of King Arthur would have been a lot better than a kid in King Arthur's court.
Well, while you were talking about this, I looked up the IMDb description for Muppet Christmas Carol, and this is it. The Muppet characters tell their version of the classic tale of an old bitter miser's redemption on Christmas Eve. They gave you more context, but they still said Muppet characters that basically tell their version of is
the classic tale.
Twist is basically the word. Like they basically shrunk everything they just did from Christmas Carol and just said a classic tale.
Somebody's just lazy in the writing.
Yeah, they were just like, brevity. Let's just do the same thing again. But anyways, Eddie, how often did you watch this as a kid?
So I have a distinct memory of the very first time seeing this movie, and it was for Billy Roach's birthday party.
Wow.
And we went to the Regal Theater in Avon.
Wow.
And did like I think this might be like one of the few or only times that I actually did like a birthday party at the movie theater
with the
right?
special room.
Yes. And so I just remember like having the birthday party, there for him.
It's Jonathan Flowers' cousin, right?
Yeah. And then we went and watched Muppet Treasure Island.
Wow.
That's just kind of
I'm still waiting for my opportunity to have a birthday party at the movie theater.
Well, that's what we should do for our 35th birthdays.
Go rent a party room.
Rent a party room at a movie theater.
This is happening. You can put it in stone next year.
Oh my
next
goodness.
year, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Oh wait, no, you're not gonna be in the country.
Should we save it for our 40th?
Yes, for our 40th. That's the better time. And the more awkward.
What are you doing for your 40th birthday? It's like, we're renting the party room, and let's go to like Regal, it's like the Regal Shiloh Crossing Theater or whatever. Yep. And I never understand why it's Shiloh Crossing.
Nobody
by the way,
knows.
And do like the old. That's the theater I thought of. We're rabbit trails tonight, folks. With the Vin Diesel, the movies.
With
that one concession stand that's always closed.
It's never opened.
It's never open. The movies. I always think of Regal Shiloh because they always had that like extra concession stand that was never open.
Only ever opened for Star Wars premieres. It's the only time it's ever opened.
Good memories of that theater, though. I went to all the premieres of the Lord of the Rings
there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember watching this. Like we didn't own this film, but I had seen it a couple times, or I had memories of certain moments from it. But basically, once me and my wife got married, this was one of the first things we watched when Disney Plus came around. She was like, I want to watch Muppet Treasure Island. Or maybe she owned it. Maybe
Is she a big Muppets fan in general?
She likes the Muppets, but you know what she really loves? She really loves Tim Curry.
I wondered how long it would take us to get there.
I mean, we can just go ahead and do that. Her exact words were, I wrote this down as she was saying them. What other actor would give a Broadway level performance for a kid's movie?
Yes. I couldn't agree more.
This is me parking the bus here for just 10 minutes.
Okay, so one, he has the best like sinister evil laugh ever, period. It's just doesn't get any better. No one can top his laugh. And yes, there's just this, he pulls off the Long John, Silver so good because you need to like love him and be endeared to him, but always feel like he's a little sinister and up to something.
Yep.
And he just nails it. And then I think the moment that I just like, yes, is his, a professional pirate song. and that's where she's totally right, like a Broadway performance.
Also her favorite song.
So good.
So Eddie, so we got these. I tried to write them down as we were going. These might not be the official names for the songs, but I've got
the list here.
We got the opening number,
Shiver My Timbers.
Gotta Be Something Better.
Yep.
Hey Ho, We'll Go.
Sailing for Adventure.
Yep. Cabin Fever.
Which is my favorite.
When you're a professional. So that's what I was going to ask. Eddie, if you have to choose your favorite song, you're going to go with Cabin Fever? I think so. How certain are you of this?
I'm fairly certain because it is what I quote from this movie the most. Especially the little rats going, "We've got cabin fever. We've got cabin fever." Yeah.
I love how there's just memories from my childhood that I'm like, where in the world did that come from? And then you find out later it was from a movie. Most of them are that way. And Cabin Fever was like I was singing like, why do I know this song? Oh yeah, because we used to sing this all the time.
Yeah. You don't forget Boom Shakalaka.
Yes.
With Did you catch the name of the chief?
Yes.
Boom Shakalaka?
I said it out loud and then I forgot it.
He is Spam.
Spam. Chief
Which
Spam.
I found out. This is on the Wikipedia page.
Yep.
Hormel Foods Corporation actually sued Jim Henson Production for the use of Spam because of the pig. And then the judge just dismissed it because they couldn't prove that there was actually damages. And he actually said one would think Hormel would welcome the association with a genuine source of pork.
So that judge understood what the game really was. He was like, I understand what's going on here. Let me just go ahead and let you know that you're not going to make any money off this.
I loved it.
That's amazing. The Boom Shakalaka, when they was doing it, I was trying to like figure out, okay, that was an iconic saying on NBA Jam, the video game, for many years. Anytime you dunk it, boom shakalaka. And so I was trying to figure out what came first, this movie or that.
Just a 90s phrase, right?
Maybe
there was a lot of boom, right? Like you're like boom, baby.
Yep.
That was big. Boom shakalaka. I don't know. Just kind of feels like a very 90s thing, and they just turned it into a song.
I think you're right.
I did not care for the Love Let Us Here, the Kermit and Miss Piggy song.
As they're hanging.
A little odd. Just not my speed.
My wife was definitely a fan of When You're a Professional Pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that. So she wanted to make sure that was marked in there. So,
yeah.
So we've hit Tim Curry. We've hit Best Song. There's something random that I was thinking. Oh, we got to talk about Billy Connolly. Connolly we need to repark the bus right here for a little bit.
Billy Bones at the beginning.
I think he's one of my favorite. Is it Irish? Is that what he is?
Scottish.
I was so far off. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I did that to your heritage or whatever.
I'm both, so it's okay.
He is definitely the go-to. We need a Scottish voice here. I feel like I just heard him in something the other day, and I was like, yes, Billy.
He's in several Disney stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Brave.
Well, he's in Brave.
What am I thinking of? That's it. He's in Brave.
And then there was another Disney thing that I actually think I heard him in recently. I'll have to think about that.
I remember going to Ireland with you, Eddie, and being having the wool pulled out from over my eyes. That red hair is actually a Scottish thing, not an Irish thing.
Right. That's why my beard is red.
There was new information for me, and being there because we had a Scottish guy that we were living with or staying with in Northern Ireland, and he was like, "I'm from Scotland, and red hair is from Scotland, not Ireland."
Mm-hmm.
Thinking, wow,
it's a big thing. Most people get that wrong.
But anyways, we'll move on. So there was I got a lot of feelings watching this film again and thinking about Harry Potter. Something about like the physicality of the sets and the intricacies of it when they're in the London or wherever. It's just like some of the way that they did some of the buildings felt a little Diagon Alley, a little bit.
The lighting
kind of
a little bit like fire lighting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some of the just way that the buildings were, that they weren't squared up right. It felt like some of the stuff from Prisoner of Azkaban where they're where they're in before he goes to school and he's in that like apartment. I forget what it is, like rental what am I called? Hotel or something like that. Just some of the way that the buildings looked, the leaky cauldron, some of the way the buildings looked and the rooms and stuff, nothing was squared up. It gave me a lot of those feelings. Also, Jim Hawkins' accent was like a mixture of Harry and Hermione and a bunch of the major characters from Harry Potter, for the actors from Harry Potter. and it just like stuck with me the entire time. And I couldn't figure out whose it reminded me more of, but the actor who played Jim Hawkins, his accent made me think of one of those child actors in the first couple years of the movie. So that was just something I was thinking about as I was watching this film. There was a lot of Harry Potter feel to it, some of the score moments and stuff like that. It's obviously a completely different storyline, but
this movie was shot in London.
Well, there you go.
You never know. Well, you brought up the actor who played. I wouldn't have thought of that, but as you say it, I do see what you're going for there, and I would agree. Sarah and I both agree that the weak link probably in this movie, though, is Jim Hawkins.
By far.
And anytime he starts singing, Sarah would just be like, fast forward. Can you fast forward this? Like, this is like Kevin McAllister level singing here. I can't take it.
from Lost in New York.
He sings at the beginning. It's like that. Just stay high, young boy falsetto. No, thank you. Thank you. I'm good.
I think I enjoyed watching this film. I know we've watched this more than A Christmas Carol, but I enjoyed the fact that A Christmas Carol felt like it was being too self-aware the entire movie, with Dickens being the character that's like taking you through and stuff like that.
Right.
I felt like this one was a lot more. It didn't take you out quite as much, and you just kind of live in there. And the moments that it did stop, it was like funny. Some of those times, like
Walter and Statler do it the best.
Yes,
Waldorf and Statler. Sorry, when they save, he's like, "Look, we saved the pig and the frog." Well, it's too late to save the movie.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We're stuck here on the front of the boat. Well, at least we're not stuck in the audience.
And that is their character, like so that's what they're supposed to do. But then also when Billy dies up at the front, and they're like, "Wow, he died," and this is supposed to be a kids movie, and then he comes back to life. There's things like that I enjoyed, and it didn't go too far.
I think my favorite moment is when they have this Swedish chef prepping the food for the cannibals, and the tomatoes just like, how else did you think we were going to fit him into this movie?
Yep. Yep.
I love it.
I like that.
I find myself like, I'm not a huge Muppets fan where I'm like, I need me some Muppets. But I'm also, whenever I find myself watching something of the Muppets, I do generally just enjoy it. Like I like
you like it more than you think you're not gonna go out of your way to go find them, but you're like, you know what? That was more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Like, the moment in this movie that really was like, the Muppets, is when they're fighting at the very end, and I think it's Gonzo uses starfish and to stick the guy to the side of the boat.
Yep.
Like, that's just such a classic Muppet move that I love it.
Rizzo the Rat. The fact that he's running a cruise line during this entire thing, and they're like, this is where they actually shot the movie Muppet Treasure Island on it. That was another one that was like, okay, I'm appreciating a few of these like self-referential things that they're doing on here.
That whole little bit that goes through the whole movie, the entire thing of him running a cruise during, I don't know if it's during, is it during Treasure the story, or is it during the movie? That's what I could never figure out. Is like, what is he running what is he running the cruise during?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's so funny. It's so good. I saw originally the plan was to have the two of them serve as Jim and Hawkins as the main characters, but they were afraid that they wouldn't be emotionally convincing enough. So they decided to bring in a human to portray Jim.
I think that was a good idea. It did bring some, because otherwise it's literally just like in Muppet Christmas Carol. You still got Ebenezer Scrooge the entire time, and you start to empathize for him, especially for how good
his nephew.
Yeah. But at the same time, you definitely needed. I don't think that it would have been as good. I think you'd have had the same problem where it's like, oh, we're having Muppets as the main people on that. Like, it's nice having a human character.
I think that's where I would land, but there was this moment where I thought, I kind of want to see Tim Curry just carry the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
Like, is this just Tim Curry and a whole bunch of Muppets? There's a few of the pirates that are human beings as well, but if anybody could pull it off, it'd be Tim Curry.
Well, and the Muppets have shown that if you get A-list actors and they take it seriously, like, they can make a compelling story, just like with A Christmas Carol with Michael Caine.
Well, and even the new ones, right? The newer movies.
I haven't really watched any of the newer ones.
You know what? Neither have I. Again, not a like die-hard Muppets fan, but when I like find myself watching something of the Muppets, like I absolutely love it. One of my favorite things, so at Disney World in the Magic Kingdom, they will do in Liberty Square there, the Muppets on like out in this, it's like Streetmosphere type show.
Okay.
Where it's Sam the Eagle retelling the founding, like the Muppets retell the founding of America there in Liberty Square. And it's hysterical. It's so funny.
Is it kind of like when Olaf retells Frozen 1?
I don't know if it's that funny, but yes. It's probably on YouTube. I'll see if I can find a link and send it to you guys.
Okay. I'll look forward to that. A couple other moments I love when Captain Arrow comes back, and then they set him up as spooky. He's like, spooky. I'm the ghost of Samuel Arrow. Spooky, and it just like scares everybody. We quoted that quite a bit. Also, a little tiny nugget I appreciated: the Miss Piggy tattoo on Kermit's chest.
I missed that.
It's near the end. It's as he's fighting Tim Curry and Long John Silver, and his shirt has come open, and there's a little Miss Piggy tattoo on his chest. That looked like an old timey kind of tattoo. I appreciated that next level thing. That's not like whoa in your face, but I was like, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah,
I see it.
Well, shall we come to the moment where we rate our movies?
We rate this film. Yes, I think it is that time.
1 out of 5 fruit snacks. How many do you give Muppet Treasure Island?
I'm gonna go with 4, just because I had fun with it. Like it's a good. Like I also am giving. I'm giving, and I think I'm giving it an extra star because my wife quoted half this film. Yes. Sang every song, knew all the lines, and would just randomly out of nowhere just be like, they'd be talking and be like, "Oh, pretty little girl, take me to Billy Bones," and then I hear my wife go, "My pet," out of nowhere, like in perfect sync. And for that, I'm going to give it a little bit extra bump. I probably would have done a 3.5 because I was kind of in and out of it, but I'm going to give it a 4 just for my wife.
I think I would give it a 3. It's a pretty solid straight down the middle. I will probably find myself watching this again, but I don't think it's one that I'm like racing to go see again.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. And nothing really came to my mind of things that they for sure wouldn't do again in 2021. Maybe some of the Native American or Native Islander stuff, maybe they wouldn't go down that route again, but they kind of have of late in like Pirates of the Caribbean movies and stuff like that. So maybe.
Well, let's think of this in a different way then. We've had 2 Muppet movies that were the retelling of classic tales.
Yep.
What classic tales should they retell if they were going to do one in 2021? What classic tale?
We already said something about King Arthur.
Let's hold the term classic loosely here, if you know what I mean.
You seem like you have an idea of one that you would like to throw out there.
I don't know. Like I don't. I've had a few thoughts kind of go through my mind of like, what are recent book fads that would be really funny to see in Muppets?
There's just wrong ones coming to my head right now, and I'm trying to
for sure. Let's hold that one back. I think I know which one.
Move on from that.
No, but I Twilight. I could see that to be really funny.
That would be a good one. It'd probably be better than the originals.
For sure. Especially if you did like Bella as a human and then everybody else is Muppets.
No. Oh, man. Would Bella be the right one to do as human? Or else would that be too awkward?
I don't know.
Like if she's falling in love with a puppet.
Or puppets.
I'm texting my wife right now. Scale of 1 to 10. Muppets recreate Twilight. We'll see if she says anything. We'll see if she says anything before the.
I mean, they already did a movie. Well, of all of these, I guess they did, but one of the teen dystopian movies could be a lot of fun. Maybe Hunger Games would be a little too dark. I don't know, but
Hunger Games, yeah, that'd be really intense. Man, I can't think of. I'm trying to think of just in general, like Harry Potter and some of those.
Just kind of one off, yeah.
Some of the Harry Potter ones, Titanic. I don't know why I'm just thinking of it now. That's not a book, that's movies, so I can't.
But see, when you say Titanic, I think of Thumbtanic. Remember watching Thumbtanic?
Thumbtanic.
What did one poor person
say to another
poor person?
Who cares? Thumb Wars. So so my wife already got back to me. She said, laugh out. I said, scale of 1 to 10, Muppets recreate Twilight? ? She said, laugh out loud only if Lin-Manuel does the music.
He would. This is his next thing, right? Like he needs to do a Muppet movie.
A Muppet movie. We all need that. We all need that in our life.
Oh, for sure. Especially having just seen In the Heights.
Oh yeah, that was a fun experience. I enjoyed that.
That's what the movies are for, right there.
Oh yes, it was a good welcome back for a lot of people who hadn't seen anything since the world came under last year. But anyways, that is our review of Muppet Treasure Island. Thank you for listening to another episode of Honey, Who Made a Disney Podcast. Eddie, what are we going to watch next time?
We have a sequel next episode, and it is Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco.
Cannot remember anything about this film, so we will see if it holds up to when I'm sure I'll be seeing scenes and going, oh yeah, I remember that scene with that dog, with that cat.
I remember when that happened.
Something or another. Hopefully it lives up better than the original one, because I feel like my review of Homeward Bound, the first one, was not very good. I was not a big fan of it.
We should have started a spreadsheet to track all of our ratings.
And now we have to go back. I guess we could just go back to the end of all these episodes and just figure it out. At one point I started doing that and then I just stopped.
I forgot.
I just stopped. But anyways.
We'll figure something out. All right. Well, we will see you in next episode.